Hello everybody and welcome to today's stream. I am your humble host Gavin the Kitty, and today we are playing some Luigi's Mansion. Hello Skyler, welcome. It's going alright. How's everybody in chat doing today? Now as you can see, I've played this game before. I've got a ghost story to go along with today because weird stuff happened during the setup. I also had a restarted file for testing, so on file 3 we shall begin. We're going to be going for about 2-ish hours. I expect this game to be taking like maybe 4-ish hours. So at tops, we should be able to get through like half the game today. I thought about just making it a floor-by-floor thing, and then I realized there's like 5 floors, and that would take us the entirety of October, and I don't know, just something about that just didn't feel right. So we'll be going for 2 hours. Because it only takes like 15 minutes, apparently, to get all the way through this first half of the game. And I've got reduced load time, so you're good but bored. I feel that. I definitely feel that. But as we're getting started with today, I have heard the news about the Mario movie having a trailer in 2 days. We'll be doing a live reaction to that. Sometime in between the Sonic Unleashed stream. So. Mario! But this is Luigi's Mansion. I remember we did a April 1st Luigi's Mansion stream, which was actually just Mario is missing. But this time we are actually doing it. Awesome, we already got 3 people watching. But good to see you guys. Is there any... It's probably just a no, just because I'm not sure. I would need to get to know you, and you'd have to have a Discord. I've got a Discord link in the description below if you want to join, but you need to have a Discord to actually co-host with me in the first place. Because that's how we do all of our recordings. Plus, I lay out a couple of strict guidelines, so I'd have to get to know you, and things would have to be. There'd have to be a couple of different things. But as we're getting started here, of course, everybody knows about Luigi, the scaredy cat brother of Mario. That scaredy cat tendency of his was intended from pretty much the very beginning. Most of the Deke Entertainment docs for the animated Super Mario Bros. Super Show, a lot of the character ideas that were presented there actually came straight from Nintendo, so Luigi being a scaredy cat was kind of planned out ever since Mario 2, which is strange, right? It was the whole reason that he had the higher fluttery jump, because he just couldn't stop running. Liam, he said today's a rush. Didn't even do a speech. Oh wow, yeah, it is something. Oh well, nice. Well, I'm glad you're here and get to watch and hang out. So, hope everybody in chat's doing good. So this is Professor Egad. He is a new character for this game. He was then later showed up in Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, as well as most of the Mario and Luigi games after this, and then kind of disappeared for a little bit of time, and has only really shown up in smaller cameos and Luigi's Mansion games, which is a little funny, because Egad is like a cool character, so I don't get it. Hello, Haredevil. When will I get to return to Dreamland? That is a wonderful question. I'm not sure. This entire month is filled with spooky stuff. I might just do it for November, though. So, I might do Return to Dreamland in November. It all depends. I was kind of waiting on the remake to get a bit closer to coming out before I did it. But, you know, you never know. Uh, yeah, I understand that, but Skylar, it has nothing to do with you liking my content or not, and everything to do with you as a person and me as a person. If we have good chemistry to work off each other, then yeah, absolutely, I'd love to have you on as a host. But it's one of those things where I'd have to get to know you. I have a Discord link in the description below for those who don't know, and you can join that and, you know, find out if you are able to be a co-host or whatnot. I know a lot of people like to ask that question with how many people, different styles of people I have on, but yeah. No, I'd love to know, but for now, Luigi's Mansion. Back to the game. So, Luigi's here because he won a mansion. Egad says he saw Mario walk in, or little fella with a red hat. Luigi's scared out of his wit, and Egad's a bit too old to be doing the ghost hunting business. Egad decides to train Luigi, so it's a little bit of that Ghostbusters Afterlife feel for passing the torch. I do have a ghost story for today, and I'd love to share it once we get a little bit more people in here, because the Gamecube decided to throw a fit right before this game. Fun fact, if you wait in this screen, it'll play Tataka's song. It's, I think it's 16 notes? It's not very many notes. It's bum ba dum bum 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 bum. I don't think I'm going to show it off here, because it takes a while. We'll be using the standard control method. When do I place Tropical Freeze? Will I get the secret exits or no? Just because of that, I'll get the secret exits. I'll give it a shot to try the secret exits for Tropical Freeze. Tropical Freeze will probably be next week. But I believe tomorrow we are doing New Soup U. It's not part of the October-Vania, but it is for the channel. We're going to be finishing up New Soup U tomorrow. So that'll lay the groundwork for, you know, Tropical Freeze. So, yeah. Yeah, just because you asked, absolutely, I'll do the secret exits. I'll give it a shot. No guarantee that it'll be perfect, but I'll give it a shot. I like to be a people pleaser. That is something a lot of people have realized. Alright. I love this track here. It's super funky. This game is absolutely awesome. All you gotta do is shine the flashlight and then move the analog stick. This feeling of the poltergust with the way you can pull ghosts with both analog sticks just makes for some really fun gameplay. It's got a really good gameplay loop, is what I'm trying to say. Now the goal here is to get all the ghosts. I believe there's 12? There's a good number. In my test, I got 6. When I used to play this game, I could get all 12, like, in one go. You know a few tips? Sweet. Well, thank you so much, Haredevil. Oh, boy. So then here's the big challenge. Getting every ghost before they disappear. I believe that was all of them. 11 ghosts. He's plumb astounded. So what I always wanted was an infinite run of this, because there's the ones on the back wall. I would love it if they made an endless mode version of this, where it's just constant ghosts coming at you in one room. Maybe you move from room to room. which is fun, because there's actually a weird loading glitch where you can go from door to door, and actually EGAD's map is all linked together. But first off, we'll go to the gallery, and I'll share my ghost story, because absolutely you guys are going to want to hear a ghost story. So, not a ghost per se, but when it comes to setting up for real hardware like this, I oftentimes have to pull the game console off the shelf and hook it up. For AV consoles, I hook it into an upscaler and 1080p upscaler. It also does 720p, which is not what I'm using right now, but it also then plugs into the capture card. That's all fine and dandy, but here's the thing. Audio can sound weird, right? When you're using weird cables. When I plugged it in, it sounded perfectly fine out the TV. In my headphones, it bent each of the notes near the end of them and had audible clicking noises. Kind of like a... But it was like on and off. It was every now and again. And only at specific frequencies. So it was weird, right? So I decided, you know what, let's just switch the cables over. I was using an SNES cable that I bought because my SNES I had lost the cable to. So I decided to switch over to the N64 cable I have. It has an S-Video port, and it's even more heavily shielded. I switched over, and you'd think there would be absolutely no issues. And immediately, an issue decided to show itself. Like, I mean, immediately. There was now a main hum. For those who don't know what a main hum is, it is when electricity is decided it's going to run through your audio and visual signal, and it's going to make a small noise to make itself clear when there's no audio, and when there is audio. But it can be heard most clearly when there's no audio, so you get in the background of all of the footage, which was weird, right? And I can't stand that. I would drive me up the wall for an entire playthrough. So what I ended up doing was deciding, I'm going to switch back to the other cables and see if that fixes the issue. And it did. It even resynced itself because there was 2 frames of audio delay beforehand, and then not afterwards. Also, these angel statues are creepy because they move their wings. It just creeps me out. But that's my ghost story. Yes, it is the hum buzz from electronic systems. Absolutely. So, let's go ahead and go back to the lab and continue the game as I get into the mechanics of this, because, yeah. But it was just kind of creepy, right? Like, I don't know why it decided to do that. I guess the key lesson is always use good cables and make sure everything's looking and sounded good before you start. It's why I set up an hour in advance, just to make sure I can iron out any kinks for these streams, because a lot of streamers will spend their entire time setting up and making sure stuff sounds and looks good, but they'll spend the entirety, like, the first 20 minutes of this. I spend an hour beforehand just making sure all of that works out. Yeah. And of course, we have a toad! So let's get into a toad. What do you guys think of Luigi's Mansion, by the way? I'd love to hear from you guys, hear what you guys think about Luigi's Mansion. What do you guys think about my ghost story? Like, haunted Gamecube? Probably not, but, I mean, it's still weird and creepy. Especially because I only had noticed it with Luigi's Mansion. I had played WarioWare Inc. as a little tester beforehand, and it didn't have that issue, so, eh. Alright, toads are our save points for these games. But yeah. Oh, sweet. We're up to 4 viewers. Welcome, welcome to whoever is here. I'm going to go ahead and save. The game was saved. So I'm going to get into some of the mechanics. With the R trigger, we can vacuum. And if we slowly push the R trigger, we actually have a weaker. And if we click it all the way down, we have a stronger blast. With the right stick, we can rotate Luigi. And with the poltergeist, it'll move nice and quick and angle the vacuum up and down. We can move Luigi with the analog stick. With the D-pad, does nothing. A will call out for Mario, and depending on Luigi's situation, between his health and how dark the room is, he will use different tones. With the Y button, we can view our map on the Game Boy Horror. Game Boy Horror being what EGAD gave us, so that way then we can keep track of our progress. And with the X button, we can search around and get Luigi's thoughts on the world around him. And if we scan a mirror, every time scanning a mirror will do this. It will warp you back to the foyer. So, keep that in mind as we play. You have something spoopy in your basement? Noises only. Ooh, that's creepy. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that, Liam. Our goal for this game, though, is to get the most amount of coins that we possibly can. I'll be showing off a couple of secrets, some things you may not have known, and a couple of smaller things. There's not going to be very many coins laying around. Most of them are going to be all over the place. Of course, there's also bills. In Luigi's Mansion 1, they're all colorful. Later games make them, like, greenish, which I'm okay with, but, yeah. Of course, these creepy candles, Luigi doesn't like them. We'll just go ahead and get rid of them. No point in an unnatural flame, right? Hello, Xavier! Spoopy month, time to scare people. Absolutely! That's the whole thing about October-Vania, is to play spoopy games. Of course, the ghosts don't like it. The ghosts love the dark. These ghosts are evil. Hearts will replenish Luigi's health. We have 100 HP to start with. And that'll be our HP throughout the entire game. And I'll go into a little bit of dev secrets, because this is one of those games that I researched heavily back when I first got my Gamecube, because I loved it. I loved this game dearly. I thought Luigi's Mansion was awesome. Hello, Veline! As you guys are coming in here, I'd like to remind you to leave a like and whatnot, because, of course, we're up to 3 likes, but there's been 18 views already. So please, leave a like. It helps out the channel. Of course, when the lights are on, we can see things a little better, and Luigi will do his own little whistle. There's our first gold bar. Yeah, other times my lights cut out. Ooh, creepy. Yeah, creepy, Liam. That's totally creepy. Unrelated question. Have I ever had it? Yes, I did. I ended up getting it after getting vaccinated because one of my coworkers refused to wear a mask at Tim Hortons, and I ended up getting sick for a week and a half. And I had to work through COVID because my my boss decided not to give me the days off, even though I was very clearly sick. It was to the point where I had to sit down in between orders because I was so exhausted. And it kind of lingered for quite a while, too. All of the ghosts have their own unique names, so these pink ones are punchers, or suckers, like Sucker Punch. One of the two. The orange ones are just kind of your standard ghost. I don't remember all of the ghost names, but I'll be trying my best to remember them. But anyways, I hope that answered your question. I'm sorry that I don't feel like going into much more detail. It was very uneventful. It was mild, and it only lasted for like a week to 2 weeks, but it was still annoying. I don't believe I even streamed during that time, because I was just so weak and tired. which is not something I described myself as. So, with every clear of the room, we'll brighten up the mansion. And that is our goal, to just brighten up the mansion and get the keys. These blue ghosts are money ghosts. There's a certain number of them throughout the game. I don't believe you need all of them to get the best ending. But it can still help. Ghosts will sometimes hide in objects, as can be seen there, and sometimes they'll drop hazards like those, like the big banana-eating ones. Ghosts can escape the suction if you're not playing your cards right, and sometimes they'll even throw down poison mushrooms that you have to avoid. This game gets way spookier when you're playing it in the middle of the night. The 3DS version takes a little bit of that horror away by just being on a handheld. But yeah. I still think the 3DS version isn't bad. If it's the only way you've experienced Luigi's Mansion, give the original a shot. Because it may be a little old, but it's still good. Hello, Randall Boggs. Welcome, welcome. You brought one of your friends? They want to see the show! Oh, awesome! I love entertaining more people. But welcome, welcome. We are just hanging out playing some Luigi's Mansion. Hello, Tomo! Welcome, welcome. Is the game fun for me? It is a absolute blast for me. I love this game with all of my heart. It's got a whole lot of detail. This was a GameCube launch title, and for me personally, I thought this was one of those titles that needed to be on everything. I still have old pieces of paper where I used to draw up how Luigi's Mansion could function if they ported it to stuff like the DS and the PSP. I'll drag those out someday, but it was like the coolest, nerdiest thing to me. Be like, oh, they could port it here, or they could port it to this system. I mean, they never did, because it's Nintendo, but they did eventually port it to the 3DS, which is exactly what I wanted, so, I don't know. A little funny, but I definitely had thought about it, especially back when I had first got my GameCube, because I didn't get a GameCube until my parents' divorce. My dad ended up taking the Nintendo Wii, and I still wanted to play video games, and my mom just found a really cheap $25 GameCube. In fact, it's still the GameCube I'm using to this day. So we got a key, which means we can finally go over here to the left. And we're going to see some new ghosts as we go that way. You already have a video of... Ooh. Creepy. You can make it a whole series. Seriously, though, while I love the idea of ghosts, I love the concepts, I love the science behind ghosts, because there is a small bit of science behind ghosts. I do think seeing ghosts all over the place is probably a sign that your house is having issues. But that's not to say there aren't places on this earth that are, like, clearly spooky and clearly a little haunted. I've been to a couple places like that, like old spooky houses. Of course, it's stolen a little bit of that Resident Evil vibe with the whole unlocking and opening up a door, which I think is really cool. Of course, if you don't have a key for a door, I'll show what happens. And of course, there's a trail of coins, which means we must obviously want to open this door. We don't want to open that door. Trust me, you don't want to open that door. So I believe most of the time, I'll show you why you don't open that door, but most of the time when you explore the mansion, you can find little hidden, like, mice and stuff. So let's go ahead and use our game. There's clearly nothing here. Maybe. But we can scan these ghosts, and they will give you a little hint about how to capture them. Ho, 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 ho. Go ahead and try to find me. I can see you, but you cannot see me. Ho, 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 ho. But don't be careful because they do like to throw things at you. So as long as his concentration is there, he will stay invisible. Now this is one of those challenges. Oh, darn it. The challenge is to try not to get hit while you're catching them, so you can just keep that up. Ooh, creepy. Valine, you're not a big fan of 2 and 3, but the first one's really good. Hey, it's everybody's got their own opinions. I was so excited for Dark Moon when it came out, and 3 is no different. I had a lot of fun with 2 and 3, and we'll do them on the channel eventually. But right now, this is just the first one. We got that wholesome October spookiness. I believe Luigi's Mansion, I think, came out that September of 2001 to launch with the Gamecube. Or maybe it was in October. I don't remember. I honestly don't remember. I need to look things up. Things for part 2, am I right? So I'll be doing my best to showcase as much of this game as I can. Now, if we hit stuff like these bookshelves, we can actually read it. Mysteries appear whenever people, but turning away from them solves nothing. Instead of turning away, turn to the side, look at the mystery from a different view, and a way will surely open. So do you guys want to see why you shouldn't open that door? Because it'll damage you! The best way to know where hidden doors are is to check your map. Clearly, there was not a different room there, and the only real door was the one on the way on the end. Things worth looking at. Ah, yes. As everybody's hopping in here, I'd like to remind everybody to subscribe and leave a like and whatnot. If we hit 400, we'll be playing Castlevania Legends the week after Halloween. So, and of course, we have a new ghost here. Gorgeous, of course. I just spent a lot of time on it. I was so bored grouped up in that painting. Now I spend all of my time in front of a mirror. It seems so to scare people, though, so everything is coming up roses. So, the ghosts like to scare people. Be doing my best to find all the hidden ghosts. I believe this is one of the rooms with a hidden ghost. You can spin the fans nice and quick. And the faster you can spin them, maybe eventually money will pop out. When dust pops out of something, that's how you know that you aren't going to find anything from it. Of course, you can also pull the sheets off of bed sheets. Pull the sheets off beds. All the money is real, but the mansion itself is not. And of course, now we can catch her. if the ghosts end up dragging you all over the place, it can damage you. And if you accidentally let go of the control stick or cross it over, you will end up being damaged and knocked out of your capture. Now, a lot of people like to say this is the only good Ghostbusters game, and to that I like to say, what about the recent one on the Wii and the PS3 and 360? The one that recently got remastered, because that game is amazing. And I'm hoping to say the same about the Spirits Unleashed game. But only time will tell with that. Oh boy. All sorts of people are showing up today. Feeling fantastic. And with that, we have the terror of a crying child. Children are terrifying, let's be real here. Let's go ahead and go into the baby's room. Apparently this baby was born a ghost, which is just weird. I don't understand that totally, but there are entries for all of these ghosts, and I'll try my best to remember them, but some of them I just don't. Out of there is a big heart, so you can get refilled. So we're going to be needing that ball. So the real terror of this area is the baby. I believe it's Chauncey? Something along those lines. We'll find out in a bit. So it's talking about the rocking horse. Or dreaming about the rocking horse. And of course, the baby did not want to be woken. So now it wants to play. Let's play ball. And with one hit, we gave him an owie. They don't like grown-ups. So they shrink us down and send us to a ghost version of the room inside the crib for our first boss fight. This is so creepy. I love this realm. I love the backgrounds here. It made me think about lots of different stuff, like, is there a ghost realm in Mario? And if that's where the boos are from, what are boos? Because they're not ghosts, per se. Because these are ghosts. All sorts of things to really make yourself think. Oh boy. Well, now we're getting heavy with your comic. Liam? Chat, what do you guys think about the game so far? So, of course, the stitched up balls are not real. The only one that's real is the real ball. And once you grab a hold of it, once you bop them with the ball, you can only really get so far. I believe you can do these bosses in one go as well, but I have never been able to do it. I've come very close. I think the lowest I got was 2 with this first one. With a ghost later on called Boogmeyer, I cannot do him at all. Like, it takes me 3 or 4 shots. I hope the audio is sounding good today. Hello, Talibanis. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. We're just enjoying some Luigi's Mansion, getting nice and spooky off this October-Vania. Oh boy. Some say it. Oh, I can explain that actually when we get there, Tomo. It's not a glitch. It's actually the way the shadow would behave based on ambient lighting. This game has a very accurate lighting engine to add to the horror. But if you answer one of the phones in the attic with the way the light shines through, it makes it look like Luigi is hanging to a telephone cord. That's not what the shadow actually is. It's actually just as simple as it sounds. Luigi hanging onto the cable and the wire of the poltergust just hanging off. So essentially it's flattening a 2D image, a 3D image, and it just doesn't look great. But it's not a glitch, it's just ambient lighting and the way it would properly behave, which is really weird to say, because it's like, doesn't look right. It's like, no, it doesn't look right, but all of the shadows react properly. It is spooky, yes, but a lot of spooky stuff like that will make themselves seen. As you notice, the lightning came from the far left, and the lighting came to the right, but the room lighting still stayed right down the center on Luigi, so there was a shadow behind him immediately after the lightning was done. It's very subtle. But moving the camera around in this game, because the game isn't really meant to move the camera around, causes weirdness with the shadows. And the lightning is on a timer, you'll just get weird stuff like that. I did get a pink key. And this pink key will allow us to tackle the first floor back in the foyer. But our poltergust is full from that big ghost, so let's go ahead and drop him off and convert him into paintings. The ghost portrification. Ghost photorizer. I can't say it. And just like that, we get to drop off the ghosts. I used to play this game all the time with my little brother, so he actually gave me a phone call the other day just to check up on me, I guess. But I'm sure he remembers the times of trying to get the best rank in Luigi's Mansion. I only recently did that on the 3DS. I didn't do it in the original. I don't know what about the 3DS game did that, but all ghosts are given a ranking, gold, silver, or bronze. With Chauncey, I got a silver. With the father, I got a silver. And with the mama, I got a silver. So, all of them are given names. I don't remember all of their names, but I do remember their relation to each other. So, Neville, Lindia, and Chauncey. You can change these portraits by doing worse and better on all of these. So these are really middle of the road for me in particular as well, because, you know, I've played this game a couple times. Couple dozen. And of course, at the end of each mission, your score is tallied up. And now we're up to Area 2. So this is where I was originally planning on ending it. However, after doing a bit more looking into how long each section is and how much I'm going to have to say for each section, we're actually just going to continue. A haunted mansion? No. A mansion? Probably. I wouldn't want a mansion. I wouldn't know what to do with all that space, but I barely know what to do with the space I have. And just like that, we can come to the first door. And since we've cleared out this first area of ghosts, or of a majority of the ghosts holding it down, we can now open this door. And Luigi will hold a different key. It's got a different end and everything. They actually modeled each individual ones for these fancy cutscenes. I'd also like to remind everybody to leave a like and subscribe and all that jazz, because I know that I say it a lot during these videos, but it does mean a lot, and it helps out this channel immensely. So over here, we cannot go in there. I'll be trying my best to get as many of the secret hidden ghosts as possible. These are hangers. Some of them will drop bombs later on. Oh! This speaker has decided it wants to go off. This speaker is terrifying, because every now and again it'll make a beeping noise if it's turned on. And no audio is coming out. I guess it's to remind you to turn it off, but yeah, it still creeps me out. So down there is going to be a ghost that we need to see, but for now, I think the only door we can actually go into is right over to the left here. I think it's the bathroom. Of course, right over here in this door, we stand nearby, we have some nice diegetic audio with the piano on the other side being played. Or, occupied. These are grabbers. They will attempt to grab Luigi, and if you're not quick with shaking them off, you will start to lose life and coin. And just like that. Oh, you're fine, Lamb. Absolutely A-okay. I'm just glad you guys in chat are actually talking. Makes my thoughts, makes the gameplay a little bit easier for me. So there's our first key for this floor. And it'll show us exactly where we need to go next. So I'd love to see a reference to Luigi's Mansion in a couple of... I'd love to see a couple of references in Luigi's Mansion... to Luigi's Mansion in the new Mario movie. Of course, I doubt that'll probably happen. But, I mean, you never know. I did like what they did with the Toads. I don't know if anybody's noticed the poster yet. But the poster they put out for the new Mario movie, the Toads have little turban pants, or at least that's what I've always called them. Parachute pants? I don't know. But you can actually kind of see them. They're kind of poofy. It's nice. I like the look of it. Things for me to mention. You know. I used to draw different designs for Mario and Luigi because in all the Mario casts, because I was always interested. So, here's some Shy Guy ghosts. This can be kind of tricky. But so long as you're staying on top of it, you can actually get both the ghosts, but they will always attempt to... drag you into another set. Sometimes they'll just disappear outright. I like that this music is, like, playful, but still, like, with a lot of malice. Because these guys all have pitchforks. A little creepy. And of course the floor starts moving. And we now have our dancing couple. Well, that may be, but you will never find my weakness. The weakness is being dizzy. I am not even kidding. It's meant to be like you cut in between them. Ah! And there is our first portrait ghost done without a single thing. Oh, nice! Well, I'm glad you guys are sharing the links around. It means a whole heck of a lot. Glad you guys are bringing your friends and showing off the channel to them. What Shy Guys look like without their masks on? I couldn't tell you. Because this is the closest look we have to that, as far as I know. So, couldn't tell you, but that is the closest look that we have of it. And I messed up. I was supposed to be a little closer. So that ghost will not come back. That is one of the money ghosts. That's alright. So each of these crates actually have its own hitbox. And the trick here is just to release all the ghosts. When you have different types of ghosts, it gets a bit harder to do because they'll want to run off in separate directions. Now, this mirror, this is something that stumped me as a kid, but don't let it stump you nowadays. This mirror is an actual mirror, and it'll show you exactly what's in the room. This button. This is don't push. Huh, that's funny. What in the world's this? We hit the button, and the room actually moves. Toad pants go poof. I like that. Yes. We need to make that a meme for the Mario movie. Every time you see a toad, just go, Toad pants go poof. Of course. We have a sign. It says danger. There's something that looks kind of like a boo on it. Luigi doesn't even know what to make of it. And another button. And just like that, we have awoken the boos. There are 51 boos in total. That includes King Boo. So once you have 49 out of the 50, don't assume that you have to just get King Boo. Go get the other boo that you're missing. There is one boo per room, and each of them will show up. One boo per room, and each of them will move room to room. Classic Metal Sonic, hello! Well, welcome, welcome. It is It's an honor. Well, it's an honor as well. Pleasure to have you. Today we're just playing some Luigi's Mansion and being nice and spooky. If you want to leave a like, that would be awesome. And also subscribe, because we're trying to hit 400 by the end of the month so you guys can unlock the special bonus game for October-Vania, being Castlevania Legends, to complete the Game Boy trilogy. Then what's more scary than Luigi's Mansion, Castlevania, and Sonic Unleashed? Quite a lot, but I mean, don't go there. No, boy. We're up to 363 on subs. I've got my little sub counter up now, so I can actually see when you guys subscribe. So, did you know only like 20% of you guys are actually subscribed? It's wild how few of you guys are actually subscribed, but how many people watch my channel? It's crazy. So to continue the hunt throughout the mansion, we're gonna go up and begin getting boos in the order that we last went through the room. So I'll actually be going reverse order this time. Usually I just go right in the order of which I actually, found stuff. This time around, though. So this will find any ball-like object. That includes bombs. Boos will lay traps for you. There's usually 1 to 2 traps per room. I believe early on it's just 1. When you hear a ghost laugh, that means that the boo has decided to move. You do not need this one's turbo. You don't need to shine a light on him. You just need to use your poltergust. It's not powerful enough to hold him in place like the other ghosts, so just whittle them down. Essentially, we're tiring out these boos so we can catch them. With each boo, we can actually save the game, so that's what we'll do. We now have a boo counter down there. And I guess I could go into some beta elements of the game if you guys are so curious. So early on, the entire game was about catching boos, right? Like, that was the whole concept. This boo counter was always front and center in all of the betas of this game, along with another meter that showed up for fire and ice and water moves. Of course, in early builds, it seemed like it was more of a overheat meter. I'm assuming they took it out just because it didn't flow with the rest of the game. But you can watch early builds with an even creepier game over screen and all sorts of stuff. Now, we probably won't see the game over screen this time, just because it's Luigi's Mansion, and I've been playing Luigi's Mansion since forever. Taboo. Alright. So this is our first instance of a boo switching rooms. It went to the far right wall, went into it, which means it is sitting right in this room. If you give it enough time, they will actually hide in that room. And then I'll have 2 boos to find in this room. Instead of just 1 to catch and 1 to find. So you kind of want to be fast and pay attention when you're hunting for boos. Bamboo with 30. Oh boy. Getting all the nice and creepies. We're probably going to end up doing Going all the way up to Boogmire. Also, bumps in curtains like that, but then there'll be nothing underneath it. If the boo was still here, that could have been a trap. Or just a boo ball, which does exist. Ah! Speak of the devil. So this is the boo ball. So I didn't get into what the L trigger does. That actually lets you blow out stuff. So you can actually launch things, like the ball. Like the balls in Chauncey's boss fight. Alright, he chuckled, which means he moved. Boothra. I guess it's like Mothra. Boothany. I think Boothany is one of them. If not, it should be. I know the boos in other games were also named, and I think only 2 names actually cross over. Which I think is a little funny. Want to play Game Boo Advance? So the game was expecting me to find the trap first, so it'll shine yellow. It can always be... It can be a bit of a trick to just hit whatever you see in an attempt to actually finish up the room. To get the boo. Enough of me stumbling over my words. How's everybody doing? Everybody's holding up. I'm gonna go ahead and save real fast. No, I just saved. I'm gonna save again. You're so glad hello Sleet, and you're so glad I play the scary one eye on you. Ah, yes. I am playing through a bunch of scary games from Castlevania The Adventure from yesterday to Luigi's Mansion. On Thursday, we will have more Sonic Unleashed, and this Friday is the start of... this Friday is the start of the Real Horror FNAF Security Breach, so please tune in for all of that. Now, this is something I haven't mentioned. They will even venture into hallways. So I don't have the key for that room, and the boo just wandered in there. What am I to do? Well, I could just sit here. Or I could find the secret hidden trap. But our best bet is going to be to remember that Boo was in there and just get him when we can, which should be here soon. Now, there's not very many items in here. There's Game Boo. I believe there's Game Boo Color and Game Boo Advance in other games. I think we already saw Game Boo Advance in this one. So now we've got 7 out of the 8 so far, but we are, of course, not done. Got a lot more to go. This will be a spooky time, which, if you guys are ready for a spooky time, if you guys are feeling like skeletons, if you guys are feeling like coming out with all the other spookiness this time of year, please, stick around. So, I didn't go over that room yet. Now there's no boo in here. What? Yeah, not every room's gonna have a boo in it. Small rooms generally do not have boos. But this room that previously said occupied, don't worry about it. Or crying over spilt milk.
Oh yeah.
He dropped a key. He dropped the key into the toilet, and that is the entire thing. Hello, Grime. You were shy, so you didn't know. Oh, you're not gonna scare me. I'm playing spooky games. If anything, the games will scare me off. Especially since I'm a bit of a scaredy cat. Or maybe I'm just a terrifying bunny. You never know. You never know with me. I always mix it up. So we got a key. The key won't work there. Won't work there. Should probably check the map. Ah! Down this way and down the hall. To a ghost who in life was once a gypsy, or a fortune teller, she continues fortune telling long into the past. Long into the future with the fortune teller's room. What do you seek of me? What do you seek of me? Who are you? Madame Clairvoyant, seer of dropped items, possession of other people's awakened vibrations in my spirit. If you find someone's dropped items, you could bring them to me. I will show you the extent of my vision. We're gonna want to use her a little later on in the game. She's one of the final ghosts, but she helps us find Mario, because... of course. And here's a little spooky room. We have to use the mirror in the wall to see the ghosts. And this is the spookiness of this. We just gotta do it. Ah! Well, thank you so much. And feel free to share the channel with some of your friends as well. We're trying to aim for 1,000 subscribers, and if we hit 400 by the end of the month, we're playing Castlevania Legends. Because it's October-Vania, and we're doing spooky stuff. All month long. Just more fun that way. As you can see when you shake them off, they can kind of... they kind of like shrug and be like, ah, that was a bad idea. Like, no, it was a bad idea to grab onto Luigi. Of course, the lights come on, but the door does not unlock. This is going to show you that puzzles are the way to go. And with this first puzzle, we get the fire. So remember that overheat meter I was mentioning? Well, now it's all heated up. And, yeah. There's going to be fire, ice, and water. And I thought these were always super cool growing up. I always thought about, what if there was like a leaf or a wind or an air one? So some ghosts will have ice souls and fire will melt them. Of course, those are the fire spirits. Harmless on their own, but now instead of blowing out air, we blow out fire. I believe he just hopped into... I have no idea where he went. Not into the foyer. Okay, so he's either in this upper room up here, or he went down one. Of course, now that we have the fire and we've learned that we can light candles. Also, with a click in, we will shoot a fireball, by the way. We can solve puzzles and get keys. Nice and easy. Our first key, though, is down the hall. Let's go ahead and grab another fire elemental. I don't remember if any of these elemental puzzles ever come back. Just like that, we found a boo ball. But down this way, we saw a vampire, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and handle the vampire down the hall. We don't want to get too far ahead of the vampire. You ever take bomb bowling just a little bit too seriously? He's terrified of fire! So he's running away. Of course, this is the butler. He's not a vampire. I honestly think he's a vampire just because how he looks, but that could just be me. I'll let him be. And we found Mario's laundered hat. Of course, we can hear him in the other room. Just kind of... going off. Chat, what do you guys think about Luigi's Mansion? It goes for all the people watching. Feel free to put it in the comments below. I love this game. I grew up with this game, but I know not everybody did, so... It's a real ghost hunt and adventure. Now, not every room's going to give you a key. I believe this is one that will give you a bunch of money. Let's try not to activate the boo here. And there's that. I feel like vampires would be scary if they weren't so dramatic. I mean, have you ever seen Dracula from Castlevania? He's less dramatic, a little more scary. That's just my opinion. Now, if we scan this mouse hole down here, a vortex opens up, and we have found one of the many hidden treasure rooms. But we have encountered our first ice-based ghost. Of course, once you unthaw them, they can catch them.
Oh yeah.
You can also just sit here with the fire.
Oh yeah. Mud.
The game never tells you about this, and there is... The only reason to come in here is for the money.
Oh yeah.
I'm not removing anybody, but okay. I'll keep that in mind. Alright, and we got a bunch of gems, and of course we saw a little,
Oh yeah.
little Mario sprite, a little Luigi sprite from the good old Mario Advance games. Of course, that wasn't the only boo we saw run in here. We are going to want to save kind of quick, just so we can get the treasure. Right, we're up to 10 out of the 50 boos that we need to catch. Might be wondering, how do you get out of here? You just scan the warp and you come right back out the other side. So you might wonder, so where's the ghost that the vampire ghost that we just saw, the butler? He's back in the hall. You have to be fast. Not too faster than, not too much faster than him, but faster than him. Now he will give us a key for our next ghost. I do like that he's got some choppier animation. I think it's really, like, unnatural and a little unnerving. So, fun fact, I actually am having... I have a little bit of a faster load time than most people, just due to the fact that I'm running this off of... I am running this off of real hardware. I am running this on a Gamecube. But I'm using the... DOL loader? It allows me to run things off of a micro SD card. And just like that, when he gets comfy and thinks he can calm himself down, we snatch him. I believe the canon ending is like ending like C. I don't know why he doesn't always open the chest, but... Alrighty. And just like that, we got another boo down. Honestly, I think this game just plays so phenomenally. Also, fake doors can now be burnt down. If I remember correctly, they do actually come back. Not right away, but fake doors can be burnt down. Keep that in mind if you're really unsure and don't like using the Game Boy Horror. You can just set things on fire. I believe that goes right there. It's called a bowler. But it is time to visit the piano. This is my favorite room growing up because I loved learning about music and music theory. We scan the piano. I never could play this piano. It's asking what that is. The piano. A ragamuffin. Looks as if he couldn't play a note. For those who don't know, ragamuffin is a very old term. It just kind of means, like, ruffian. From all the things I could find. So Luigi actually does know how to play instruments. Including a saxophone. A harp. A bass. Drums, and even standard percussion. This is something new about Luigi that's never brought up very often. He knows how to play all of these instruments. And of course they play a wonderful rendition of the Mario theme. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Her name is Melody. People call the spectral beauty of Ivory Keys. What a stirring performance! I haven't been charmed by a piece for ages. You must have a delicate ear for music. Would you like to listen to my piano, Santra? So now we hear her play. All of their tracks are going to be from Mario 3, and she can quiz you on 3 different questions. By the way, that song was featured in a famous game. Do you know which game? Mario 3! And now she wishes to battle us with her music sheets. Of course, she doesn't like it when you suck up all of the music sheets. Luigi does not know how to play the piano, by the way. He just never learned, which is a little silly. If he knows how to play the xylophone, he should probably know how to play a piano. They're laid out exactly the same, except one you hit with little mallets and the other you use your fingers. I actually, while I myself am not a good musician, I do know how to play a little bit of piano, and because I had to learn xylophone for school, I was a percussionist, so. Of course, I also know how to play guitar, so I'm kind of one of those silly goobers who hasn't played in years, but I do know how to play. So if somebody asked me, I guess I could attempt. Oh, cool. Well, that's rad, Xavier. Of course, the boo is here. So we're gonna have to attempt it. Of course, there are posters on the wall you can suck up. Some of them are trapped posters, and we'll get to them when I get to them, because some of them you might have been curious about, just because of the way they look.
Oh yeah.
Yes, and you can still play the instruments once melody is gone. Can make for a fun time, actually. We got another boo. We're up to 12.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But here's a little glitch. When you hit them already, if the boo music plays, it interrupts the instrument, and it won't react again. So that's a little silly. Of course, all you have to do to reactivate them. There is no special order, you just have to hit all the instruments.
Oh yeah.
If I remember correctly, vacuuming on the instruments does not work? Does not work. Okay. But you can listen to this Mario theme anytime.
Oh yeah.
But like I said, the only instrument Luigi does not know how to play
Oh yeah.
is the piano. Which is a shame. Eyebrow raise. Alrighty. Well, that's intriguing. What's your question, Liam, if you don't mind me asking? So we remember a boo ran in here beforehand, so we're gonna have to catch him eventually. So here's an optional ghost. He does not harm anybody. There is absolutely no reason to catch him other than score, or if you're going for all of the boos. But our first main mission here should be to clear up all of the bananas. Of course, there's the money ghost for this room. It'll give us another gem. There's only so many gems throughout the entire game. So, if you don't know where the gems are at, though, it can make it a little tricky to get the best ending. I'm just aiming for a moderate ending, honestly. You hit the wrong key. Hey, it's all good. So then, right off the bat, we have these foodie ghosts delivering more meals. So we're gonna drain that a little bit more. Catch these ghosts. Make sure we're nice and stocked up on fire. So each set of objects on the table counts slightly different. So we've cleared away the meal, and he notices the bill. He ate so much, it's very expensive. Like I said before, this is one of those optional ghosts. You just have to not get hit long enough. course, that is a little bit tricky. Alright. And just like that, we caught another one. Hello, Foxino! Welcome. Today we are playing Luigi's Mansion and just having a good time. Or we should be having a good time. Most optional rooms will have coins in their chests. Got Bodacious here. Of course, we're not going to let him get out of our boo-catching grasps. Alright, it just left into another room, apparently. Well, there's that one. Alright, my assumption is he ran back into the hallway. Or not? Okay, maybe he ran back into the other room here and then hid away. Boos can be tricky like that. Now, at one point, I heard it mentioned that there could have been a chef ghost. Well, I think that could have been really cool. I don't know if one was ever planned. Just like that, we get our next emblem. We've already mastered fire, but how about water? So anytime there's running water, we can get water elementals, which is pretty awesome. Ah, it's a bulligan. Bullion? Okay. Alright, my assumption is that the boo ran up there or down into the other room. It's a little tricky to understand where the boos go from room to room when they do the strange maneuvers like that. So we are missing one boo. That's alright. We'll find him eventually, I'm sure. Of course, rooms are ever so slightly different when the lights are on versus when the lights are off. So that's something we have to do. Here lies Mr. Bones, quiet. I don't know if there's a good way to wake up Mr. Bones without being hit. Because generally I have to get hit for that, so we'll shake the ghost off. And there goes Mr. Bones. Mr. Bones is just a skeleton ghost. Looks like I missed that heart. Alright, we're gonna have to heal eventually here. So each time we come back here, we're gonna want to water that plant. And then after enough times of that, it'll bloom into a money tree. I'm gonna try and heal up for this boss here. This will probably be not where we call it, but it'll be getting close. Just like that, we've disturbed skeleton ghosts only have 30 hearts. And the ones out here, as long as you're playing well, will give you a little bit of money for your diligence. By a little bit, I mean that gem's worth a lot. Please don't forget it. So, if you notice the depth here is a little weird, like, since we're not moving the camera and everything's kind of layered, you may have wondered, hey, this game was ported to the 3DS. Wasn't it originally intended to have 3D? Yes, it was. The Gamecube was tested with stereoscopic 3D, both with and without glasses. And they found it just didn't work, but by the time Luigi's Mansion was midway through development, they kind of already designed most of the areas to look like this, and just ran with it. So then when the 3DS came out, and they were able to finally implement 3D like they wanted, they went for it. But it took a little while. I guess you just can't plan for this sort of thing. Oh boy. I hope you guys have been enjoying this so far. I know it's been a bit spooky. And this is Boogmeier. He's creepy. I still can't explain him. He's not exactly a ghost. He's just kind of an entity. He doesn't talk. It's a bit terrifying. If you notice, he doesn't really have a heart either. I still don't understand him. I think this is one of those unsolved mysteries of what is Boogmeier I think about quite often. You can suck up the shadow creature. Throw it in your Boogmeier, and you're able to then catch him. Of course, that's not 100% the case, is it? Of course, his shadow's going to kind of jolt around all over the place, but the only one that's real is the pink one with the shadow. Or is it purple? It's like a pinkish purple. If anybody has any explanation of what Boogmeier is, I'd love to know. I'd love to know your explanation, because this guy creeped me out a ton growing up. Because he's not like any other normal ghost. I just don't understand him as an entity, as a creature. And now we caught the weird entity. Queered. Yeah, sure. Let's go with that. Of course, we lost about 20 HP there. It's alright. We'll refill and recoup. And just like that, we have the green clove club. Yeah, that's the club. We already got the heart. Here's the club. All of the floors in this mansion are based on cards, so... I believe the last key we get is the diamond. And spade is the next one. So that's pink heart, green club, spade is blue, and yellow is diamond. Somewhat reminiscent of the colors of the SNES control, face buttons. Not control pad. I'm all over the place today. We've already got 60 views, but I don't see 60 likes. That's alright, though. I just hope some of you guys subscribe and share it around with friends. Next time we see Luigi's Mansion, we'll be doing the rest of the game. This is about the halfway point, though, so... I'm still confused about where that one ghost went. I think he went into... I'm gonna make a mental note, and if you guys can remind me, that'd be wonderful. If I forget that one boo, we're gonna be hunting, like, the rest of the game for it. So, if I forget that boo, please... Somebody remind me, floor 1, there's the boo you missed. Because I have absolutely no idea where it's at. Alright. So we got Mr. Lugs, the floating Whirlindas, Melody Piasma, Shivers, Spooky, and Boogmire. Please, somebody tell me what Boogmire is. I'm still confused. We have yet to get a bronze, but we've seen gold and silver now. That's pretty good. Each of them have different styles of painting. You can actually get all three of them in the 3DS game because of the refights. And with that, we had another 20 billion gold to our total. We added quite a lot. Our total is wildly high. Let's go ahead and look at the gallery and take a look here. Of course, I already showed off the statue's wings move, and that creeps me out. But right here in the first row, painting number 2, we can take a look at them. They all have their own unique quirks, and they're all drawn slightly different. Down this hall, Boss, Shivers, Mr. Lugs, Of course, you can also use the Game Boy Horror here. But Luigi doesn't really have much to say, which is strange. I still want to know what this is. Please, somebody explain this to me. I am confused by Boogmire. I know that I'm saying it a lot, but I am legitimately confused and perplexed by that character. Is he a creature? What is he? I just don't get it. We've got a funny pixelated picture of the dog. The Whirlindas. Melody. I believe he says something about... It's a statue, a very tall angel statue by the looks of it. I believe he says the same for both of them. He doesn't mention how they move, which is creepy. Way to go, genius! Do you have the hang of that? Hang on, what? Way to go, genius! Do you have the hang of that thing yet? I like how Luigi's kind of like, I'm just gonna make fun of him. I think that's a little funny. Oh, we got a little bit of time. I guess I can go ahead and, like, tease the next area. We brightened up most of this floor, though, so that's pretty good. And just like that, another door has been unlocked. So far, I've been having fun. I've been enjoying this. Ooh, fancy. A lot of fancy spooks and specters out here in the corridor. There is one little bug, I believe in the first-person mode, something is rendered that's not here when you exit out. I believe they just missed it. I don't remember exactly what it is. But we should probably go water that plant first. That's a little funny. I think that's an audio bug because it's loading too fast. Because it just started to play the really creepy horror one and then went straight into Luigi whistling. Oh, did he show back up in this room?
Oh yeah.
That's a little weird. Ooh, fancy. Friday the 13th. I think that already passed, didn't it? Of course, now we have a rosebud. You better water it a little more. It grows out and blooms.
Mario. Mario.
So the boo went back out in here, and it went up to the billiards room. I don't know if it's going to stick in the billiards room, but I know we are going to be doing that room here soon. Water the plants, get a little bit of a gem. Of course, we could hear what sounds to be Mario somewhere off in the distance. And right down here is Y. Now, I had a weird glitch one time where I actually stood down, like, I just fell. Apparently, it's a speedrunning trick. I have no idea how to do it. Of course, we get to see our first glimpse at the final boss chamber. Deep under the mansion. And there's Mario! Distorted in ink. And with the catch of that ghost, we get a key. And we get to brighten up the room. So now we can leave the outside. Right into the melodic melody. Right here in the birdhouse is Mario's letter. Running scared out of its wit.
Oh yeah.
It's a toad. Hat, letter, and star. There's 5 items total. Hat, letter, star, glove, and shoe. Now, of course, the ghosts have not totally gone away. Huh, that's a little funny. That's because every one of these hanging ghosts are actually what you need to catch to clear out this room. I know it's not a room, per se, but... could still be helpful. And I believe there was one over here. Perhaps? I know there is a ghost, enough ghosts out here to actually catch. I think in my original playthrough, I didn't actually clear out this room, because it's not required. As you can see by the money, but it's also not difficult to clear out, so it's kind of worth it just to do it, just to get the cash. Because Luigi's Mansion is all about that high-score money-making feel. I believe this next one is also not required. So this is Biff. I believe he's named after the character from Biff Tannen. Just because of the way he looks. But it's not required because all you gotta do is exercise on your own and ignore the beefcake lifting stuff. The door is already unlocked. But that does not mean we're falling for anything.
Mario.
Ah, he punched us. Look at the little winner, the big baby. So all we had to do is bop him 3 times. Or maybe just once. Three times, and he's down. Luckily, after that first whooping, it just requires 1. I don't know what Luigi's gonna use with all this gym equipment, but you know, open up a haunted gym. Maybe. Ever want to get spooked and work out at the same time? Beauregard. Yes, all of their names are awful puns like that.
Oh yeah.
Now we get another diamond. Of course, diamonds. Just what I think of when I think Mario. It's not, but, you know. It is what I think of when I think Luigi's Mansion. And just like that, we have a easy, quick way back to this side of the mansion. Of course, the Boo decided to hide again. I once had it hide in the chair next to the base. And that was just weird. Are you playing on computer or the Gamecube? I am playing on real hardware on a real Gamecube. However, load times are going to be faster because I am running this off an SD card plugged into the bottom of my Gamecube. Via, I think, it's called a DOL board? It's fancy. I have a modded Gamecube, but it is real hardware. It is running on a real Gamecube. But that's a great question, Alan. Thank you for asking, and be sure to subscribe and leave a like and stuff. I'm willing to answer as many questions as you got for me. I mean, a few things I can't answer, but yeah. But welcome, welcome. Alright, with that, we can now open up this door.
Oh yeah.
This room's got a little tricky thing where you can actually stand on the tables and the ceiling.
Oh yeah.
I don't think it was ever brought back, but... Ah, there we go.
Oh yeah.
Make stuff like that a little funny and a little weird to do. And now we have our final elemental, the Ice Elemental. This will allow us to spit out ice and then freeze things. And it's effective against water, ghosts with water in their spirit.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Some people have equivalated this game a little bit more to a puzzle game than a true Mario game, and I kind of feel that. I think of it more as a high score arcade style game, though. Which is weird, right? Because a lot of people are like, it's Luigi's Mansion. It's not a puzzle game. It's not like an arcade game. But it really does feel like it at times. And here's one that threw me for a loop for many years. She will start moving around and chasing you. She does not want you playing with her balls of yarn. You've got 3 hits to hit her with. You have to hit her with all 3. Or else she goes away and laughs at you. She's a bit spry for her age. I believe it was stated that she's like 97 or 197, something like that. She's old. She's getting a bit up there. It's alright, so is my grandmother. I hope I complete the full game. I plan on playing through the whole game. However, it'll probably be in parts just due to the fact that I need to watch for my own health lately, and learning to take breaks has been part of that. So, some episodes where it's like, oh, I've been playing for a really long time. My chat's telling me, hey, I should stop and take a break and take a breather. Oftentimes, I will try my best to listen to them. Like, we did a really long New Super Mario Bros. U. We played through the first 5 worlds of that game. And I got told to stop because my chat was concerned about my health. Because I've done long streams where I do like 24 hours and whatnot. So when it comes to Luigi's Mansion, though, I'm predicting that it'll take us about 2 streams total to actually beat this game. Alright. Yeah. So when it comes to games, I will definitely be beating it. But it just might take me 1 or 2 more tries than what you might expect. Just because, you know, some people close to me are very concerned about my well-being. And I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for the audience that I've accumulated thus far, and I'm hoping to get it even larger, because, you know, having people around you that are like, hey man, maybe you should just take a break. Dudes are good people. Generally. Of course, I can also understand being dedicated enough to play through an entire game all in one sitting. I'm the crazy person who decided, yeah, let's play all the way through Circle of the Moon, Aria of Sorrow, and and Julius Moon of Aria of Sorrow, Circle of the Moon, and Harmony of Dissonance all in one night, because I'm a crazy person. Alrighty. I'm gonna go ahead and look for a little bit of HP, because dying at this point would not be great. First, we have this beautiful figure. We must know what's behind it. Oh! Well, freezer. She's been in the tub for hours. She's gonna get sick if she stays in it. I don't believe fire does anything too important. I've only ever used ice on this. I know water does nothing. You can't use the poltergust until you're large. So if you ever hit with a poison mushroom, just wait until you can till you grow large again. So give it another go. Sometimes gems will get stuck behind objects, but if you try hard enough, eventually they'll just work. Alright. Also have this door unlocked. And it's our first time we can actually showcase one of these posters. This is the Monsters poster with Dracula, Frankenstein, and Frankenstein's monster, which he's also dubbed his heir, calling him Frankenstein. So the monster and Frankenstein are both correct terms for him. I'm not getting into that debate. Dracula, as well as the Mummy or Invisible Man, I can't really tell. It's a little bit too low quality for me to be like, yes! One or the other. Of course, this is our first ghost with fire. And just like that. I think that's the Invisible Man. But if you actually decide you don't like the monsters, and to get rid of it, a boo will replace it and saying, get out of here, and a boo. And he grabs a hold of the poster. So it's a haunted poster, and you cannot pull that one off the wall, sadly. I have tried many, many times, but you'll just be damaged. And just like that, another room cleared. Nothing super serious. Ew. That can be a bit dicey, but I do hope she gets better. Even though you did say it's not serious, it's still, you know, a little concerning. But I hope she gets well soon. Let's go ahead and check back in here. Okay. The light will always change yellow in a specific room. It doesn't change based on location. Like, what I mean is it doesn't change in proximity. So if it's blue for a room, it's blue for the room. If it's yellow, it'll turn yellow instantly. So here's our first. Back on this floor, we missed a set of kids. The twins. Of course, these kids are also a fan of classic Universal monsters. I feel it. This game actually gave me a massive appreciation for classic Universal monsters, and I wanted to know more! And then I started watching a show on TV called Svengoolie. So if you've ever heard of Svengoolie. So first we have this mobile. I don't know why it's called mobile. Or mobile. But all we gotta do is spin it fast enough, and eventually the kids will come out to play. Yeah, not fun. Alrighty, well, we've got the twins, and they want to play. They're going to hide outside. So once we leave the room, we come back in and we play a little game of hide and seek. I don't know what Luigi did there, that was a glitch. Now you have all these chests. That one doesn't shake. That one shakes. This one does not. So we have one not, 1, 2. Hang on. So we have not shake 1. Okay. So it'll be this one. Not bad. Don't grab the ladder, hit the chest. There we go. Get the boo in the foyer. I believe we already did get the boo in the foyer. One's driving around. We want to take care of him first. These twins can be a little bit of a pain. if you're lucky, you can kind of line them up in such a way so that way then you can get both of them at the same time. I honestly think it's the fastest way to go, since you don't have one driving around at your feet and the other one throwing bombs at you. Of course, we also missed another money ghost, but at least I showed off where he was at. Hello, Argent. It's in this mansion. I feel that. I'm glad you're doing well today, Argent. Or at least I hope you're doing well. I know you didn't say it, but I figured, you know, since you're cracking a joke, maybe. I'm just finishing up for today. So that way then we can get on with our recording later this evening. And just like that, we got a boo in the hallway. So if we wouldn't have missed that boo, we would have been at 19. Which I say is a perfect time for us to take a break. Call it here. Come back when things are a little more spooky next week. So, thank you guys so much for watching thus far. This is the first half of Luigi's Mansion. If you guys enjoyed watching, be sure to subscribe, leave a like, follow me on Twitter at GavinDragonYT for even more. Share the video with friends, and have a wonderful rest of your day. All of the above. And if once this video gets done rendering, there will be 2 links on screen, one for a video, one for a playlist. Be sure to click one of those, and have a wonderful rest of your day. I got nothing else to really say. I have been your humble host, Gavin the Kitty, and good night, everybody.